Hello everyone, hope all is well. Just to recap, last video we started going over the functions in the dplyr package and working with data in R. That was specifically the select, the filter, and the read underscore CSV and Excel functions. And in this video, we're going to be finishing up the rest of the functions in the dplyr package, which include mutate, which we use to create new variables. The group by, um, the group by function, which allows us to group data points by a certain variable value. And lastly, the summarize function, which allows us to quickly glance at some like average level data in our data set. And while it's not a function, the last concept I'll be showing it's called the pipe, and it's a very useful tool that helps us limit the amount of code that we have to write and makes our code a lot more efficient. So let's start off with the mutate function, which is how we make new variables. So the way that the mutate function works and how it's going to be structured is the same way as the other dplyr functions we've talked about, like filter and select. But first, let me write stay consistent with my labeling and commenting. So this will be data management, data management for lack of a better term. And let's say we want to create a new variable in the cafe data set that we have loaded up, that it's a measurement of it's a variable that is a measurement of the gross amount of muffins sold and muffins wasted to see how much of a net positive you had. So let's see. So we're going to while we're using the Clean Cafe data set, since it has missing data, let's just run this. Same thing that we did for the muffins data set, how we got rid of the missing data, the value of the missing data. And we'll do it the same with Clean Cafe. So let's do this, copy and paste. And now we should have that should have deleted the observation that had missing data, which did. Perfect. So now let's make a new data set. We'll actually save over the Clean Cafe object, but we're going to be making that variable we talked about. So we're going to use the mutate function, and mutate has the same structure of arguments as the other ones. So we're going to first start off with the object that we want to use the function on. So it's Clean Cafe. Then we're going to create a new variable and then give it the rules that we want to create the new variable by. So new variable, we start off with the name. So let's say it'll be called net muffins. And that is equal to, and we're not doing double equal to, because that's really only used for like when you are telling R to do logic tests, where you're saying like if this is equal to this value, then do this. We're just saying net muffins, which is a new object, is going to be equal to. That's going to be let's do the sum or the difference between muffins sold, muffins sold minus muffins wasted. I believe that's what it's called. Muffins waste. And once we do that, make sure all your parentheses are closed. So we ran that code. Now if we go to Clean Cafe, which is where we made the new storage object, you should see it's going to be all the way on it'll be all the way on this side. The new column gets added all the way to the right, and you can see that it took muffin sold and it subtracted muffins waste from it. So this one is 5 minus 1, so it's 4. This one is 3 minus 5, so minus 2, and it went the whole way down. So that's just like one way that you can use the mutate function. Another way that you can use it is by creating variables, from numerical values. You can create categorical with a fixed amount of levels. And we mentioned this in the previous video with like blood pressure, how you can go from like a numerical value of blood pressure to either being high blood pressure, normal, or pre-hypertensive, stuff like that. So you can do that with this mutate function, and it's quite easy to do. You're just going to be using another function within the mutate function. So just seeing what type of data would be good to use this for. So let's say let's just, I guess, use the new function. I mean the new variable that we made. So we're going to use the same storage object. We're getting it from the Clean Cafe, and now what we're gonna do is we're going to state the name of the new variable, and let's just keep it. Actually, we'll change the name so we could see that it worked. But so we'll do net muffins bin, and that's just, I'm naming it that because I'm going to be making this net muffins variable. I'm going to be making a binary variable out of it that says or that cat. I'll just do cat because it's going to be categorical, because basically I want it to be if there is a positive number between the subtraction of the amount sold and amount wasted, I want it to be, say, gain. I want, if it's less than, if it's a negative number from that subtraction, I want it to be loss. And then if it's 0, I want it to be even. So the way we do that is by using another function called case when. So then the way you use it is the same thing. So it's like the structure of the mutate function. So it's the new name. Sorry, it's the object that we're using the function on, the new name, and it's equal to. So we're doing case when is the new function, and then the format of this is you're saying Kate. You're basically telling R, or the way R reads this is when the variable you give it is a certain value, you're going to assign this new they're going to assign this new variable this determined value, and it'll make more sense when I write it out. So we said case when net muffins, which is the variable which we're basing off this new variable, is greater than 0. So if the value, if you look at a specific row, if its value of net muffins is greater than 0, you'll be giving this new net muffins categorical variable the value of gain. And so you have to use this like squiggly line, which is going to be the new variable, the new value for this case. And this is going to be the value you're giving it. So now we have when it's greater than 0. Now, and then we say when it's less than 0. So we do net muffins. You have to write the test every time is less than 0. It's going to be given the value of loss. And lastly, when net muffins is equal to 0, you get the value of even. So add another parentheses, and it should be good. So this function is going to be creating a new variable called net muffins cat from the already created variable net muffins, and it will be running a logic test to see if it's greater than 0, which it will give a value in a new variable of gain, less than 0, which will give it a value of loss. And if it's equal to 0, it'll give it a value of even. So let's run it. And once we run it, so there's an argument. I must have. Oh, I forgot this. Instead of a 0, I did a subtraction sign. Okay, there we go. Okay, it worked. So let's go back to the object that it's stored in. So here you go. So you can see when it was greater than 0, you gave it gain. When it was less than 0, you gave it loss. And if it was ever 0, which was it ever? It wasn't. It was never. Oh, there's one right here. Even, right? So that's how you're able to make categorical variables from a already existing numerical one. So there's a lot of ways you can use the mutate function. So you can either use it like using kind of mathematical expression to alter a numerical value, or you can create a numerical, or you can create a categorical variable from a numerical value. There's a lot of other ways you could use mutate, but I think these are right now the most relevant and useful. So now that we have this, let's go to the next functions, which is the summarize and group by functions, which kind of go hand in hand with one another. So we'll do the summary. For this one, I want to use I think we should use a tooth function. The tooth data set. And let's say you were testing out these, you were testing this data set is testing out a vitamin supplement that it's testing out, I guess, OJ versus vitamin C to see how that, and then measuring the person's tooth length over time. So let's say you wanted to see, like, okay, compared to someone who drinks orange juice, is someone's tooth length of someone who drinks orange takes vitamin C longer on average. So if you just want to get that like quick baseline understanding of your data set, you would use the summarize and group by function. So here's how we're going to do it. So this, I think now is a good time to actually do the teach about the pipe. And I'll I'll use it and then I'll explain it as I introduce it. So we're going to make a new object because this object is going to, because we want to find the summary of this, like a data set, this data table. We want to summarize it. We don't want to store it in its original name because then it's going to completely get rid of all the rest of the information that we're not summarizing, that we're not taking the average of. So we need to create a new object so that we could have the summary. We could also have the original data set. So we're going to do, let's see, tooth mean, and we're going to do, we're going to start it off with tooth. So tooth is the original data set, and we're going to be making a summary data set from it. So the next thing we're going to do is going to be using the pipe. So the pipe is basically, it should be read, if you're reading code, it's read as and then. It's a way for you to group multiple of these functions so that you don't have to continuously write the name of the data or the storage object that you're working on. So like, let's say you wanted to restrict your data set and get rid of some columns. So you do select, you'd name the data set, and then you do a pipe. So here's this data set, and then I'm going to select these columns from this data set. Then you do another pipe, and then you'd say, and then, which means, and then, let's say I want to make a new variable from this data set called, that looks at the net muffin sales for that day. So it's a way for you to avoid having to rewrite this part out every single time, and it makes your code a lot more condensed. So the actual way that it works is that group by. So instead of having to write tooth here, it actually just passes off like this like period, which has the value of the tooth thing. So you don't have to write out the function. I mean the data object, which with the function is working on. You just have to write what you want this function to do on that data set. So we want to group by, so the way that group by works is you just write the function. You just write the variable with which you want to compare values of. So for this, and you're going to be doing it, you're going to always group by something that is a categorical variable. So for the most part, so for this one, we want to group by supplement because we want to compare OJ, like the tooth length, comparing OJ to just vitamin C supplement. So the way we write that out is we just name the name the variable that we want to group by, and in this one, it is supplement. So make sure to match the upper casing of the S because that's what it is in this. So okay, so now we're going to group by supplement. So instead of running the code, we're going to do another pipe, which just means and then. So after that, we're going to summarize. We spell it like this, summarize. And you're going to be making a new, it's similar to mutate in that it's like you're making a new variable and then you're going to set what the new variable is, like what the value of that new variable is going to equal to. So we're going to do summarize. So it's going to be average length, and that's going to be equal to the mean of I think it's just length. So now that we have that, so this just set, so to read this code out, it says tooth mean is going to be based on it's going to be drawn from or made from the data object tooth, which is then going to be grouped by supplement, which is then going to be summarized where a new variable called average length is going to present the mean length of each supplement group. So now that we have that, and run, and now we have this new data object called tooth mean, and you can see here it condensed that whole entire. It condensed these two. It got rid of dose because it wasn't mentioned, and it condensed this entire data table and took the average and created it like this. And there's a way to actually print out this summarize, but I don't have it in front of me, and I could mention it later, and it'll be in the notes that I share. But yeah, that is pretty much all of dplyr. That's the entire dplyr function. It's package. It's filter, which allows you to narrow down the amount of rows you want. Select, which allows you to narrow down the amount of columns you have. Mutate, which allows you to make new variables. And then group by and summarize, which allows you to condense your data into summary level information like mean, median, percentages. You can all do that all with summarize. So that is it for dplyr. I know that kind of was a lot, but once you get a handle of just like being comfortable with working with data like tables, it's pretty much like you've gone like halfway or more than halfway done. Once you understand that and understand just how to work with data sets like that, you've pretty much done most of the work. So yeah, that's it for this one. Thank you again for watching this video. And in the next video, let me see what we have here. We might be doing graphing, but I don't want to get your hopes up. Oh no, we're gonna be doing how do you like join multiple data sets together? Like if you have different data tables on the same like let's say patients, but they're in different areas, on how to join them together. Yeah, that's it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this lesson, and I'll see you in the next one.